We are now on chapter 17 of The Cage. An order comes from the Ghetto government. We must vacate our home within a few weeks. The building we live in is going to be torn down and used for firewood. We have expected this to happen. Still, it shakes us up. The Ghetto suffers a shortage of heating supplies. The cold in the home brings more sickness and more death. The Ghetto population is getting smaller and smaller. To help the people to survive, the older buildings are being torn down and used for heating. I look around me. This place has been our home all our lives. My entire family fills the house with memories. I feel Label's presence around us. I hear his sweet, gentle voice. Courage, my dear sister, courage. Motel and Moshiel speak very little as we pack our belongings. We know in our hearts that we are attending a funeral. There are no words to ease the pain. We are the last 3 survivors of our family, parting forever with the traces of our childhood, with memories that still live here. I stare at the empty house. My feet stay nailed to the floor, refusing to take the last step that will cut us off from here forever. Yulet takes my arm gently, walks me to the door. They will always live in your heart and mind. You are taking them all with you, he says. Our new home, a 1-room walk-in, was once a small grocery store. It has a front and back entrance and a very large cellar. It may be of great value to us, Motel says while he examines the huge clay opening in the floor. It is big and deep. It will make a good hiding place from the Nazis. Just think, this place that was used to store potatoes, vegetables, coal, this dark, cold hole, will now be used to hide people for as long as possible. I listen to the sound of Motel's voice and try to picture this place filled with sacks of flour, sugar, rice, beans. The cellar filled with vegetables, shelves of bread and rolls, buckets of milk, butter, eggs, and people, mothers with children by their sides, buying food for their families, busy with their daily chores. Where are they all now? Where are the mothers? Where are the small children? Where are the people whose voices filled this room? Riva! Moshiel startles me. Are you wandering in the past again? What are you thinking of? He looks at me with so much warmth, this sweet, young child who never had a childhood. He was only 8 years old when the Nazis marched into Lodz. They crushed his world. He is 12 now, an orphan with a heart full of sorrow, but also love and tenderness. A gentle soul, full of hope. Riva, this is our home now. Life must go on. He swallows hard. Let's get organized. Let's keep going. I put my arms around him and hold him close. I kiss his light brown hair. I am so lucky to have you two, my wise and darling brothers. I still have you, too, to hold on to. I love you both so much. Moshiel touches my hand, slightly embarrassed by my show of emotion. We love you too, Riva, but let's not get mushy. We have work to do. But his voice betrays the fullness of his heart. Motel puts his arms around Moshiel. Hey, look at those shoulders, he says with a twinkle in his eyes. Boy, you are growing so big, much too big for all that mushy stuff. But you are just big enough to move furniture around, so let's get going. Let's start with the beds. How about putting them against the wall over here? He points to the wall on our right and stops, his eyes fixed on the corner of the left wall, as if writing invisible to our eyes, but clear and calling him, were written there. The library! The secret library! He cries out with excitement. This corner will be perfect for it. Look closely. It is right near the back door, easy for people to come and go without the neighbors noticing. We'll put curtains over the shelves, and it will look like a closet. Riva, Moshiel, let's do it. Let's bring the library over to our house. Moshiel and I look at his radiant eyes, burning with an inner flame. We too feel his excitement. We too are caught up in his vision, the library. It took so long for the members of the adult socialist movement, the Bund, to get the library together, young and old risking their lives, slowly collected, slowly salvaged, hidden books that were not burned by the Nazis, forming the secret library. Books are not allowed in the ghetto. Still, they are here. We read, we study, we learn, and we draw strength from the books. The library is hidden at the home of the Rosenfarb family now, but its popularity, the traffic it brings to the Rosenfarbs, is putting those kind, dedicated people in constant danger. The time has come to move the library to a different place. Learning takes the place of food now. The books give us hope, strengthen our will to live, to plan for a better, brighter tomorrow. The knowledge they bring to our hungry minds gives us new energy to our weak bodies. We cannot give up the library, but what price do we have to pay to house it? We must put our lives in danger. Motel's, Moshiel's, my own. I look at Moshiel. I look at Motel. Their faces show no fear, only determination. They are waiting for a sign of my approval. Well, someone has to do it, so why not us? Why not here? The boys from the woodworking shop steal the wood for the shelves piece by piece, risking their lives with each little board they smuggle out of the shops. I make curtains from fabric that Mama never had a chance to use up. I wonder what Mama would say if she knew what we were doing. I think she would approve. Slowly but surely, a few books at a time, we moved 300 books to their new home at 18 Burka Jolewicha Street. Chapter 18. Our home becomes a very active meeting place. While exchanging books, we also exchange bits of news. Who has been placed on the latest list for deportation? How can we save our friends? What can each of us do to help? If we could only keep off the list. Hold on. Keep going. The day will come. The day of freedom, of new life. The burning issue. How to keep on hiding if one's name is on the list. Often our home holds sudden guests. 3 people in each bed, others on the floor, huddled together, listening for strange knocks at our door. If we are found hiding someone, we will be taken. But there was always the hope that we will not be caught. We must take the chance. Someday, we too may be in the same position. We would want others to help us. Our cellar stands ready and waiting at all times. Blankets and pillows are spread out on the clay floor. Often our friends hide in the cellar for hours while we wait for the house to be searched by the Jewish police. With pounding hearts, we listen for their heavy footsteps. We hold our breath each time someone passes our door. Will they stop at our door or go on? Are they looking for someone? Are they looking for us? Is this our last night here? At the tailor shop on Brzezinka 50, where I have come back to work, the cutting department is in an uproar. My co-workers look very upset. I hear angry whispers and feel icy glances following me. What is happening? My eyes dart from one face to another, searching for an answer. They are all avoiding me. Why? Why? We have always had such a close and warm relationship. We are a small group holding together like a family. I am the youngest and looked after like a kid sister by all of the others. I was put into this specialty group, the cutting room, by the shop manager, David Birkenwald. He knew my parents from their union activities before the war. They had worked together in the tailor trade. Each time he passed me in the huge hall where I worked before, bent over the sewing machine. He stopped. He touched my hair gently and said, "Rivkil, that machine is bigger than you are. You look so lost here. Those military coats are much too heavy for you. You are too small and much too young for this department. I must find something else for you, something a little easier. You will collapse by this machine if I do not move you soon. Motel told me about your gallbladder and about your weak legs. I have to get you out." One day, I did faint. I had a severe gallbladder attack. There was not much I could do but suffer in silence and hope that it would pass soon. Maybe it would be the last attack. They carried me to the first aid station, revived me, and a while later sent me back to the sewing machine, still doubled up in pain, tears flowing silently from my eyes. The next day, Mr. Birkenwald moved me to the cutting room. "You will help lay out the fabric for the cutters. This work is not as hard as the other. The people in the cutting department are very nice. They will take care of you. I already told them about you. We must help one another to survive." The people are truly kind. They took so much interest in me and my younger brothers. They took all personal pride in our strength to hold on, in our determination to study, to help one another, to help others. They admired our courage to hide a library in our home. Sometimes they asked to borrow books, and on days when the mood was a little lighter, I would tell of books I had read. They liked the stories I shared with them. Life in the shop was so much easier, so much nicer with these people, until today. Now there seems to be a cold, invisible wall standing between us. A chill fills the room. I feel their resentment. But why? What did I do? I cannot stand it any longer. I turn to a tall, pale woman in her 30s with black hair and dark, sad eyes. She lost her 2 children. They were taken away by the Nazis one day. Her sorrow is written all over her face. Sometimes she puts her arms around me, hugs me close, cuddles me like a child in her arms. "You are a child without a mother," she says. "I am a mother without children." "Miriam," I ask, "what is happening here? Did I do something wrong? Please tell me." She takes my hand in hers. They are ice cold. I feel her trembling fingers touch me. "I thought you knew," she says slowly with a choked up voice. "Knew what?" My heart is pounding violently. What am I supposed to know? Did something happen to Moshiel? She caresses my hair. "Nothing happened to them. Nothing happened to them. It has to do with you. You were on the list of teenagers to be deported." She stops. Each shop had to give a list, but Birkenwald removed your name from the list. He put someone else's name in your place. I stare at her without seeing. My head spins. My thoughts race one after the other. Should I laugh? I am not being deported. Should I cry? Someone else is going in my place. Should I feel happy? Should I feel guilty? I bury my head in my hands and cry. Riva, stop crying. Mr. Birkenwald is standing behind me. He puts his hand on my shoulders. His voice is tense, filled with emotion. Look at me. You have to know why I made such an awesome decision. You must try to understand. I look at his face, pale, drawn, distressed. He has become so much older in one day. I see the pain and sorrow in his eyes. Riva, I had to do it. I had to play God. I had to choose. The list called for teenagers, true, but you are only a teenager in years. In reality, you are a mother of 2 younger children. You are the legal guardian of your brothers. I did not save 1 life. I saved 3. Your brothers would go with you if you were deported. They would volunteer. They are so young. What chance would they have in a labor camp? You are their mother. You must protect them. You must think of them. I did. Tears flow down his face. I bury my face in his chest and cry hysterically. He caresses my hair gently. Chapter 19. Mr. Birkenwald was right. I heard Motel's comforting voice. He saved 3 lives. He was right. We would never let you go alone, and he knows it. We must hold on to one another. We must hold on to life. So be grateful for the chance he gave us to stay together. Life is cruel in the ghetto, but it must go on. It must go on. I repeat slowly. Life is cruel. Life is so cruel. We cry for the ones we lost and continue to live. We eat, sleep, hope, dream, laughed, love, hate. We do not turn to stone and stop feeling. We suffer pain and sorrow and go on living, but there must be a limit. How much can we endure and still say, life must go on? We all wish we had an answer. Moshiel's soft, gentle voice is soothing, calming. I wish we had an answer, but life does go on. We lost Mama, and we felt we would never be able to live without her, but we are still alive. We lost Label. We are still alive. You see, Riva, life does go on. It must. And life does go on. Yulet comes by every evening. We sit quietly on the sofa, read poetry, and dream of a better world. His eyes take on a special soft glow each time they meet mine. Do I care for him as more than a friend? I wonder. How does he feel about me? I wonder. I wonder about so many, many things. We never speak about our feelings. It is so pleasant, so peaceful just to be together in a world of our own, a world of poetry, beauty, hope, forgetting death knocking at our door. We still dream, hold hands, and smile. Life does go on. The sun is shining. Spring is again covering the cold earth with a blanket of new blossoms. Nature is awakening, sparkling with new life. The gentleness of spring fills the air. Passover is approaching once again. When I was a child, it was the symbol of freedom, a time to rejoice. But now it brings only the sad reality that we are still slaves, not in a faraway land, Egypt, but in the land of our birth, Poland. Will we, too, have a Moses to lead us to freedom as our forefathers did? Is there a Moses among us? Motel looks at me with a mischievous twinkle in his blue eyes. His lips form a timid, nervous grin. I know you are in trouble, my dear brother. I smile with my eyes while trying to sound serious. It is hard to be angry with him. I know you're hiding something from me. Out with it. Well, Moshiel hastily interrupts. Remember what holiday is coming? He, too, is flushed with excitement. It is Pesach. So? Motel takes over. Remember what we always got for Pesach when Mama was with us? His voice cracks for a second. He swallows hard and regains his composure. Remember the new clothes and what Mama always said? Pesach would never be Pesach without new clothes. I have a choking feeling in my chest. I see Mama's smiling face. I hear her words ringing in my ears. Pesach would never be Pesach without new clothes. I see her bending over the sewing machine, singing happily while sewing dresses, shirts, coats for her children for Pesach. My eyes fill with tears as I look at my brothers. They, too, remember Mama's words. She is always with us. So, Motel says, Moshel and I decided that it is time for you to get something new for Pesach. You need some new clothes, badly. We received new clothes from the Child Welfare Department when you legally adopted us, but you lost your rights as a child. Legally, you are a mother. But to us, you are our sister who needs a new suit. It would break Mama's heart to see your wardrobe. Real schmatas. Remember, you are a young lady now, and boys are looking at you, well, like a young lady. Motel grabs my arm and pulls me towards the closet, opening the closet door with his free hand. Look in the closet, Riva. What is missing? Why would there be anything missing? Who needs our shmatas? I ask. What do you mean, shmatas? Moshiel exclaims. How about Uncle Baruch's gray tweed coat? You call that a shmata? Oh, that. Well, that was a beautiful coat once, rich and elegant, with fur inside and on the collar. All that's left is a gray tweed fabric and a reminder of different times, before the Germans confiscated all the furs that belonged to the Jews. Uncle Baruch. Uncle Baruch. I feel like screaming. Our beloved uncle. Talented, handsome, bright. The pride and joy of our family. Mama's younger brother. She raised him and helped him become an educator. Such a happy, warm human being. Where is he now? He left with his wife, Eva, and their baby, Rutka, to escape the Nazis, just as my sister and brother did. Where is he now? Where are they all now? Mama held on to the coat. He'll need it when he comes back home, she said. She is gone now. He is gone, but the coat is still here. So where is the coat? Did you put it away in another closet? Mama always loved that coat. I could hear myself sigh deeply. If Mama were here now, Moshiel says slowly, weighing every word, she would take that beautiful gray tweed coat and make it over into something for her young, growing daughter. I am sure she would say, Uncle Baruch can have a new coat made when he returns, but Rivkil needs a new suit now. And she would make the coat a suit for her Rivkil. That is right. Motel cannot hold back any longer. That is what Mama would do. But Mama is not here, and we have to take over for her. We took the coat to Karola's uncle, the tailor. He will make you a new suit for Pizach. The labor has already been paid. I am sure Uncle Baruch will also approve when he comes back. Hold on, boys, not so fast. Maybe Mama would have done this, but how can we be sure? What right do we have to make use of a coat that is not ours to use? And what do you mean the labor is all paid up? How did you pay? I look from one to the other, my eyes flashing with anger. Did they do it again? Sell their bread? They sold their bread before to get medicine on the black market. They went for a whole week without bread to get the vitamins I needed. Once they sold their bread to buy one tangerine for me, hoping that it would give me strength. Are they doing it again? Paying with bread so I can have a new suit for Pizach? So I can look well dressed? No, you cannot give your bread away again. It is not that important how I am dressed. I will not let you do this. Motel puts his arm around me. We kind of expected it, he says with a grin. So we gave him the bread last week. You cannot stop us now, and you cannot change our minds. Anyways, we were planning for a while, so each time we divided our daily rations of bread, we made the portions a little smaller until we'd saved up half a loaf of bread to pay for the labor. So you see, he is beaming with pride, we outsmarted you, and you did not even notice that the portions of bread got smaller. Moshiel put his hands on my shoulders. I am so glad that we trust one another, not like some families, who steal one another's bread to fill their own stomachs. I am so glad that we are as we are, and we have one another. I see tears glisten in his eyes. How can I stay angry? I put my arms around the two of them, hug them close to me, and cry. The beautiful gray tweed coat becomes a beautiful gray tweed suit under the skilled hands of the tailor. He looks with pride at the suit he has made, and with warmth at my flushed face as I stand in front of his full-length mirror. Your mama has raised very special kids, Riva. Very special kids. Chapter 20. I am on the list. I read the dreadful words in Ulick's eyes before he utters them. My sister, Fagel, is coming with me, he says in his soft, gentle voice. Hide! We'll hide you in our cellar. You must hide. I grab his hands with sudden force. You cannot go. You must not go. I won't let you go. There is no use, Riva. His voice is breaking as he speaks. There is no use. Maybe it is all for the better. Fagel is all skin and bones. She cannot hold on much longer here. I have nothing to help her stay alive with in here. Nothing. Maybe it is true what they tell us, that they are sending us to labor camps, where we'll have a better chance to survive this hell. I have no choice. I have no choice. I look at his sad eyes. What has happened to the sparkle of hope? What has happened to the sparkle, if hope, that has always been there? What has happened to his determination to live? What has happened to his strength to fight for each day? I swallow the lump in my throat. Ulek, you must not give up. We know what life in the ghetto is like, but maybe it is even worse outside the ghetto. Maybe we have a better chance to survive right here. You must not give up hope. Riva, he caresses my hair softly with his trembling fingers. Riva, you, at least, must understand. You are the guardian of your brothers. You are legally and morally responsible for their lives. I am the guardian of my younger sister, not legally, but morally. I promised my mother to look after my sister as long as I can. I must do it. I must think of her welfare. She is too weak, too delicate to survive in a cellar. I cannot put her in hiding, where she will die from each strange sound. It takes strong nerves to hide. There is no hope for her here. Our only chance may be reporting for transportation to a labor camp. We are young. They need our labor skills. They say that even the weak can be used in the camp for the easy work. As long as they need us, we may have a chance. He utters a deep sigh. We must hope that we are making the right choice. We must hope that this will all end soon. He looks at me, and there is a glow in his eyes now. Riva, he says, you will not forget me, will you? I try to manage a smile, taking his hand in mine. How can I forget someone who reads poetry to me with so much feeling? I'll wait until you return to read again. He squeezes my hand. It's a deal. It's a deal. Yulek, what can I do to help? The lump in my throat is back again. He thinks for a moment and says, a bit embarrassed, I don't know what to pack for this journey. I can use some help. I walk into Yulek's apartment with slow, hesitant steps. I have never been here before. How sad and strange life is. My first visit to Yulek's home is to say goodbye to my dear friend, my more than friend. It is a one-room apartment, crowded with reminders of better days, with pictures of loved ones looking down from the walls. A picture of a smiling woman stands on the dresser. Yulek looks like her, blonde, blue-eyed, the same gentle smile. She is dead now. This beautiful lady lost her mind, hid in a world of her own, away from all this horror, and they killed her for that. I look at Fagel, sitting on the bed, pale and forlorn. Her blonde hair is disheveled, bewildered and lost. She, too, looks like her mother. But there is no smile on her face. There is only fear there. I wonder if that is what their mother looked like when she took sick. My heart breaks looking at her, a gentle young child surrounded by madness and death. Riva, I am so glad you are here. I am so afraid. I am of no help to Yulek. I am so afraid. She stretches her thin arms towards me. Hold me, Riva, hold me. I hold her tightly. She is so helpless. I understand why Yulek must go. He has no choice. He is her strength. Embarrassed, Yulek points at the open drawers and the clothes scattered over the room. Look at this mess here. I told you I am no good at packing. I am glad you came. We pack 2 suitcases, saying very little. We are lost in a world of unspoken feelings. Is this goodbye forever? Why does it have to be like this? Why? We must clean up this house before we leave in the morning. Fagel's voice reaches me from a distant world, from far, far away. And we must lock the door. We do not want anybody to come in here while we are away. Mama always said that you must leave the house clean when you go away, so you come back to a clean house. We will come back, won't we, Riva? We will come back? Yes, Fagel, you will come back. You must come back. I look at Yulek now. You must come back. You must come back, I whisper. The packing is done. The house is clean. I must leave now, before curfew. Yulek walks me to the door. We stare at each other and suddenly embrace. For the first time we embrace each other. I feel the violent pounding of my heart and the pounding of his as we stay in each other's arms. Our lips meet for the first time. We hold on tightly to each other. We are safe as long as we are together. If only we could stay like this forever. I feel hot tears gliding down my face. I do not want to cry, but the tears keep coming and coming, leaving their salty taste on our lips. I pull myself away from his arms and run down the stairs, crying aloud. I feel like screaming, shouting, Why? Yulek's warm voice trails after me. I will be back, Riva. I will be back.